Welcome, everyone, to the Week 13 series of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. We got 4 games in the back end of the afternoon, kicking off at 4 o'clock, and a great Sunday night football matchup. Let's get into those late 4 o'clock games. LA Rams heading to Arizona, facing the Cardinals. Jack, what you got for us on this one?
This is an exciting game. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals 6-5 right now. They are not trying to lose this game at home and go to 500. But the Rams right now, they are looking really good. The last couple of weeks they have been able to dominate teams. Even when they're the underdog in the game. I am looking for a big game from Cooper Kupp, but on the other side, Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I mean, they got Hopkins, but the Rams got Ramsey, and he's been playing solid, being a great cover corner. We saw last week, though, DeAndre Hopkins was able to find room against Stephon Gilmore. He's up against another tough matchup, very physical matchup in Jalen Ramsey. Looking at this, Rams have won the last 5 meetings against the Cardinals, and this is one of those games that they really want to win, especially with Kyler Murray not being able to throw a touchdown last week. Since that shoulder injury that we saw against the Seahawks, he's been looking a little off. He's not the same guy. We understand that shoulder, when that goes down, especially the throwing shoulder, makes it a little bit harder. But I'm looking for the Rams to kind of dominate this game. They got a surprise loss last week on a walk-off field goal against the 49ers.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. If they want to stay alive in the NFC West, they got to beat the Cardinals, especially with the Seahawks now at 8-3, taking on a Giants team this week. They got to get this win if they want to stay in the NFC West.
Yeah, and the Rams have been looking really good. They're the 4th best right now in points allowed, and the Cardinals right now they're a top 10 scoring offense. That is where they beat you. They beat you on the ground running. Right now they're the 4th best rushing offense. Kenyon Drake and Kyler Murray, Chase Edmonds, these guys get it done, but it's going to be tough. Aaron Donald right now leading the league in sacks. We talk about him all the time because he deserves it. This guy,
you got to talk about him.
11 sacks right now. In 11 games, it's impressive stuff. He's looking great as always. But the LA Rams, their pass defense is 3rd, as you mentioned, Jalen Ramsey. This could be a really tough one. We've seen this injury affect Murray, and he hasn't really shown that patience. He's been trying to throw balls a little bit faster. He's been a little cringe in the pocket. He's getting nervous, and Aaron Donald's just not the guy that you want to have to face in that situation. So I'm going to go with the Rams taking this one, and the Cardinals, this is going to be a tough loss for them to put them in 6-6.
Yeah, I got to go with you. My one question for you, though, is who gets more yards, Kupp or Hopkins? Both tough matchup, Kupp against Peterson, Hopkins against Ramsey. Who do you think is going to get more receiving yards?
I think Kupp, just because of the amount of volume he's been getting over the last couple of weeks. This guy, he has shown that he is one of the most underrated guys. We saw Devontae Adams tweet the other day that he's the most underrated receiver in the whole league. And, we've seen it here first, why he's able to get it done. I think that he's going to be able to attack Peterson. Jalen Ramsey has been locking people up this year.
He has been. It's going to be a fun one. I expect big games in both of them. But moving on, we got the Giants take on the Seahawks, like we just mentioned. Giants got a big win last week, but it came at the cost of a Daniel Jones pulled hamstring. He's looking like he's not going to be in this week. They're going in Seattle, 12th man there. I know there are no fans, but just still playing in Seattle has that feel. What do you got for us? What do you think about your Giants, who are now first in the NFC East, finally?
I know. The only bright spot I see here is the fact that Colt McCoy is a veteran. It's not like he's getting thrown in there as a rookie, but we haven't really seen him step up in his last couple of opportunities with, Washington, things of that, teams of that nature. It's tough. Cleveland, he's had a tough journey to be here, but he's looking like he's going to get the start. And Evan Ingram was the top target last week. I'm expecting big things from him. The Seahawks, we mention it every week, although their offense, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, these guys are dangerous, but their defense allows a lot of yards. If the Giants can get going, they can get Wayne Gallman going, things will look good.
Yeah, Chris Carson coming back for the Seahawks this week, that's a huge boost. Like you mentioned, DK, having a monster game last week up
Yeah.
against the NFC East rivals and the Eagles. I just think that Tyler Lockett's going to have a good game. It feels like a while since he's had one of those big games, and he's due time. I got to trust the Seahawks and what they can do this week. As much as I love the Giants, as much as I want them to win, I want them to get the NFC East. I want your team to be there. I just think that with no Daniel Jones, it's going to be that much easier to beat them. Carlos Dunlap, who they traded for has just been fantastic for the Seahawks. And the Giants are coming up into a tough schedule. After the Seahawks game, they got to play Arizona, then they got to play Cleveland, and then they got to play Baltimore. I feel for you. I'm sorry that this is a schedule given to you. I'm sorry it's coming this late in the season after you just got to first place. But I got to trust Russell Wilson. I got to trust what this offense can do. And I think that they can beat a very good Giants defense, especially Bradbury and Logan Ryan. I want to give them a shout out. They've had great seasons, especially Bradbury. He's playing like a top 5 quarterback, and I don't think he's getting the respect that he deserves for playing as well as he has.
Yeah, he's definitely a Pro Bowl nod this year. One of those guys that Dave Gettleman signed, handpicked. One of his choices I've agreed with. I've disagreed with a lot of his moves in the past, but this was a great one. We got a good lock-up corner. I think that he's going to have his hands full this week with DK Metcalf. It's going to be tough. Tyler Lockett, this could be a big opportunity for him to get that game. But the problem here is that I think that Seattle's offensive line has let Russell Wilson get into some situations the last couple of weeks. So the Giants are going to have to pressure him. This defense is going to have to step up. But we're playing in Seattle. I'm not liking this. I'm going to go with Russell Wilson at home.
I like it. Moving on, we got the Patriots taking on the Chargers in L.A. Patriots got a big win last week up against the Cardinals. What you got for us in this one, Jack?
Yeah, Patriots, they got a walk-off win last week, and they were really, really struggling. But I think that this is going to be an opportunity for Justin Herbert to go against a really good defensive coach and defensive unit. We have to see Keenan Allen go up against Stephon Gilmore. Definitely something to watch. Are you looking for Austin Eckler at all in this game, as he came back last week and was an absolute weapon again?
Yeah, I think you absolutely have to, and I expect that because Gilmore will be on Allen, Herbert's going to be looking more towards Eckler's way. He's a solid, if not one of the best receiving backs that we have in the NFL. He's super elusive. He's able to get these big plays out of nowhere. I'm looking at what Herbert's done this season. In 10 starts, in six of those games of the 10, 250 plus yards and multiple touchdown games, 2+. That's fantastic. That is what you want to see from your rookie. And I just got to give another shout out. Joey Bosa. My man had a game last week against the Bills. Though they lost by 10, he got 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 8 solo tackles, 5 quarterback hits. He is a menace. He showed why he got paid the big money this offseason. And if the Chargers want a chance to win this game, I expect Joey Bosa to be a huge part of that. And I do expect another multi-sack game for him.
Ooh, big call. I love that. Joey Bosa, the Chargers playing at home. He's been sitting there all week. He knows what's coming. He knows Cam Newton is going to be running around in the backfield there. Right now the Patriots, though, 5th rushing in offense. This Chargers defense is going to have to be able to stop this committee of running backs in the Patriots and just this offensive scheme they're running around Cam Newton. It's very run heavy, but it's crazy to look at these two offenses. Justin Herbert, throwing for over 400 passes. Cam Newton doesn't even have over 270 right now. He has 4 passing touchdowns. Justin Herbert as a rookie right now, 23 touchdowns. It's crazy to even think, how the production that he's had this year. As you mentioned, it's been fantastic, and I'm looking for the Chargers to take this on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I really did not like what we saw from that Patriots team offensively last week. They got the win. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. They got the win. It was a big one. It was a nice walk-off one, and they got the plays when it mattered the most. But that offense really, really struggled last week. Cam threw 2 picks, under 100 yards, under 50% completion. Yeah. That is not what you want to see going into up against a pretty stout defense who seem to be kind of finding their way. And again, Joey Bosa coming into his own. A lot of weapons for this offense right now. And Bill Belichick's going to need to dial up the right kind of scheme to keep their team in this. But it's really going to come down to Cam Newton. If he's unable to pass the ball well, Bird isn't able to get going, and Jacoby Myers can't get going, It's going to be a very, very long day for the Patriots. But
Yeah, it
that's what
could
the
be.
Chargers can do.
Yeah, I'm loving the Chargers. They were a team, they're a huge team for you, Shanzi, in the summer to watch. And here they are.
Wish they had more than 3 wins, though.
Of
They
course,
should have
sitting
more
here
than 3 wins. So
3-8,
close.
3-8 on paper. This team is a playoff team. I'm just very excited for years to come with Kansas City and Chargers in the same division, just two heavy pass offenses. And I'm excited to kind of see if the Patriots, defensively can shut this down. They're just a great team that's able to slow people down week in and week out, game planning. It's going to be an interesting one in that. But our next matchup here, the Packers, Lambeau Field, December 8-3. Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz is coming to town. And he's bringing his 15 interceptions with him, Shanzi.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles played terribly last week. I don't know what that was between DK Metcalf and then that one interception that went through. It was just rough to watch this Eagles team. I'm curious to see if Jalen Hurts is going to get more than the one pass opportunity that he had. And what was funny is, like, at that time, I think Wentz was like 1 for 4 with 2 yards, and you had Hurts come in 1 for 1 with 6. I know that's not much, but like, give him a chance at this point. Yeah, like let's put him out there for a little bit more. Then the Packers just absolutely ripped apart the Bears.
Yeah,
Rodgers is up there for an MVP candidate. He could easily win it this year. It wouldn't surprise me if people think it's him. He's playing lights out. Devontae Adams is also playing great. He's going up against Darius Slay, who's coming off a really, really rough game. I expect Slay to pick up the slack a little bit because he's a little bit more familiar with Devontae Adams, having been in the NFC North with the Lions. But I don't trust this Eagles team whatsoever. I don't trust this defense. I don't trust this offense. The Packers are at home. It's going to be a night. It's going to be go Pack go the whole way. It's not going to be fun to be an Eagles fan, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, last time that these guys met, it was last year, and Philly got the win. So I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is ready to, unleash himself upon these guys at home. We're looking though. I'm loving though this week. I think that Travis Fulgham is just somebody interesting that we haven't really talked about too much. I mean, the Packers right now, they're in the middle of the pack, just 14th right now in in pass defense. And I think that, he could have an opportunity this week. Of course, Jair Alexander's always a threat at corner. But Carson Wentz is looking to Travis Fulgham this year for touchdowns. He has 16 touchdowns in the year, 4 to Fulgham, and he hasn't really played that. He only played 8 games, so I'm looking for a good thing for him. But this Devontae Adams, Darius Slay matchup, tell us about this.
Well, I mean, Darius Slay had arguably one of the worst games of his career last week against DK. DK absolutely manhandled him. And I don't know if he's going to have a great game against Devontae Adams. I feel like Adams is probably one of the most underrated wide receivers. I feel like people don't look his way as much as like a top 5 guy because they're like, oh, well, he has Aaron Rodgers. Of course you're going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Marquez Al-Scanley isn't. Alan Lazard isn't. It's not because of Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams is a great wide receiver. He's easily a top 5. And I feel like although there's familiarity there, it will still be an opportunity for Adams to find the end zone, to play well. Rodgers loves to look his way. Slay should play better. I don't think he's going to give up 177 yards again, but could he give up 80 and a touchdown? 50 and 2 touchdowns? Absolutely. I think it's easily possible. It's Devontae Adams. He's going to beat you at the line. That's what he does. And I feel bad for the Eagles right now. I wonder if Doug Peterson ever wishes that he had kept Nick Foles instead. I know it was just some playoff magic and late season magic and some Super Bowl magic, but they just seem to mesh better than Wentz and him. And I'm curious, they passed on Justin Jefferson this year. My Vikings got him. There were some internal rifts. The reports are coming out this week. I'm curious to see if Wentz is going to be around next season. I'm curious to see if Hurts is going to be the starter next season. What are they going to do in the draft? It's going to be a lot of questions this offseason for the Eagles, and not a lot of good ones that you want to answer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right now, they're going to Green Bay, and they're 1-4 away. It's not really a team you want to bet on this week. I'm looking at Green Bay also, putting up over 30 points a game. They're the best. They're the highest scoring offense in the league right now. So I think that it's just safe to say at home, Aaron Rodgers is going to get it done. What you mentioned there, Devonta Adams, 80 for 2. I think it's absolutely doable. You got to throw the 2 touchdown potential in there just for the fact that he gets so many red zone targets. And I'm really looking for the fact that Lane Johnson for the Eagles. I want to see him, protecting Carson Wentz, giving him a little extra time. We've seen this offensive line struggle, but at the end of the day, Wentz is going to have to step up if they're going to have to outscore this Aaron Rodgers-led Packers offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on. Sunday night football. We got an AFC West showdown. Denver Broncos are heading out to Kansas City to take on the high-flying Chiefs. The Chiefs pretty dominant against the Buccaneers last week. We saw Tyreek Hill go off. 269 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 13 catches.
Only 13 catches.
Only needed 13 to do it. It was unreal.
15 targets.
it was freaking insane, that game. I couldn't believe he was almost at 200. I think he actually hit over 200 in the first quarter. That was Madden. That was a Madden game. It was so weird. What do you got for this one? Because the Broncos didn't have a quarterback last week, and now they do. But
now they do, and it's very interesting because they have 3 quarterbacks at practice this week after the whole mask situation that made them play their practice squad wide receiver Kendall Hilton last week. Shout out to him, by the way, for playing an NFL game with 3 days with a day and a half's notice at quarterback as a wide receiver. Incredible.
Absolutely.
Against the number 1 team in the NFC. Shout out to him. Got to give a little bit of time to Kendall Hilton. But back to this team, Blake Bortles has been quarantined as an emergency safety in case the other 3 quarterbacks, Jeff Driscoll, Drew Lock, these guys get in trouble with COVID again, the protocols, they're not going to be allowed to play. Blake Bortles will be there. On the other side, we're talking about the real quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He is here, and his 2 best options, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, are 2nd and 3rd right now in the NFL in receiving yards. This has to be, as you said, a high-flying, and you said pretty dominant, and that's the 2 words I describe this team, pretty and dominant, because you want to watch them play, and they dominate everybody that they play.
They really do. They're looking like they're going to repeat again this year. Maybe the Steelers and the AFC can slow them down. Maybe the Titans can somehow slow them down. Maybe the Saints possibly. Who knows? This is a great team. Denver. Poor Denver.
You haven't beaten the Chiefs since Peyton Manning was the quarterback. Now you have to go and you have to play them in Arrowhead. And it's a very, very tough venue because we just mentioned Aaron Rodgers and the number 1 scoring Packers. The second highest scoring team in the league, Kansas City. They're at home right now, and we just saw them tear up Tampa Bay's defense last week. Denver, the only bright spot is really that they're a top 10 passing defense. They have familiarity with this Kansas City team. But I do not think that this is going to be, this is going to be really tough. Patrick Mahomes only 3, turnovers all year. Denver, the worst turnover differential in the league, -15. They've turned the ball over 15 times more than they've had takeaways. That is not a good look for them. But I got to give a shout out to Jerry Jeudy. He's been playing well despite all of these QB woes. 37, 589 yards, 2 touchdowns. Definitely an interesting flex option.
Yeah, absolutely. I just Clyde Edwards-Helaire is questionable. He's been sick. We may see some more Le'Veon Bell, which could be fun. The Chiefs, the way that they're just playing football, it's absolutely insane. I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't think that the Broncos stand a chance, even with Drew Lock or Jeff Driscoll or Brett Rippon in. I just don't see how they could. I don't see how they can pull this off. They struggled a lot last week, only putting up 3 points, only completing 1 pass. This is not the game that you want to be the Broncos right now. Not after the game that the Chiefs just had. It was just one of those games. It was a statement game against what people consider to be one of the top teams in the NFC, one of the better teams in the NFC, and they just went in there and they dominated from beginning to end. Even though the score showed it to be closer, they were still handling the ball really well during the 4 minutes drill. Right when they got to the 2-minute warning, they were just doing what they had to do. No Clyde Edwards-Helaire if he's not able to play because he's questionable. Oh no, boohoo! They got Le'Veon Bell, and you know what? If they're not able to run the ball, they have Patrick Mahomes, and like you said, they have the second and third highest receiving yards out of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They're just going to dominate, I think. And Broncos, I'm sorry. These last 2 weeks have not been your 2 weeks. They should have pushed back your game last week.
Yep.
Sorry the NFL didn't. Not your weeks, man. I'm sorry, Denver. We had high hopes for you coming into this year between the injuries and everything. I'm sorry.
I know. Next year, it's still going to be a team to watch. Cortland Sutton and Von Miller will be back. Maybe a new quarterback. We don't know. But this week, 10-1, Kansas City, Arrowhead. I'm going with the Chiefs as well. Simple as that.
Chiefs Kingdom. Who do you think is going to get more yards? The one bright spot about the Denver Broncos, Noah Fant. Who do you think is going to get more yards? Noah Fant, Travis Kelce. Last week you said Kelce, by the way, against and Gronk had more yards, just to let you know. I just want to throw that out there.
It's an interesting – I love Noah Fant. I mean, when he came out, him and Hopkins, they went to the same school. Last week, he got the only catch. You mentioned they had one catch. I am really liking how he's playing this year. He's seen 60 targets last year in 16 games. He saw 66 as a rookie. He's looking good this year. I think that he actually does get more yards because I believe that they're going to be running a lot if Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't play, because I think that they may go up a little bit early and the game script's going to change more to running for the Chiefs.
I like it. I gotta go with Kelce also. But
as a Kelce fantasy owner, I don't doubt he'll get a bunch of a good amount of yards. Can't doubt him. I think he gets 2 touchdowns this week, but I think they're trying to push Hill up the receiving yards list and get McCole Hardman involved.
Trying to boost up those stats. I like it. Got the Chiefs for sure. That's all the time that we have. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope you enjoyed the late afternoon games and enjoy some Sunday night football.
Yeah, always check it out. Late afternoon games, Sunday night football each week. Just Saying Football on YouTube. JustSayingFootball.com always has it as well. And get your updates at Just Saying No GWJS on Instagram. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thank you. Enjoy.